The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, this is Sushma, Business Manager at iNoject, and today I'll be presenting to you our flagship product, Maplytics. All lines will be muted during this webinar. If you have any questions, you can use the chat window, and I'll be taking a Q&A session at the end of the webinar where I'll be answering all of your questions. Before we dive into the session, let me give you a quick brief about iNoject. iNoject is one of the leading service providers in an ISV. We have been into the business for more than a decade now, and our blogs are also well known among the CRM community. Apart from Maplytics, we have also been focusing on building productivity apps which reduce multiple steps in CRM with one-click solutions. You can see few of our offerings listed over here. Besides developing app, we are also a system integrator and we assist our partners and customers with offshore development services. If you would like to discuss any of your requirements for the same, you can contact us at crm@imagen.com. Let's have a look over the agenda for today's webinar. So we'll be starting with an overview about the growth of Maplytics over the year. Next, we'll be seeing the market scope and impact of Maplytics. After that, I'll be giving you a quick overview about the features that I'll be covering for today, which will be followed with the live demonstration of the features. And after that, I'll be starting a quick poll where you can vote for the most useful features that you feel. And lastly, I'll be taking a Q&A session. So Maplytics is available for version 8.2 data verse as well as Dynamics 365 online, on-premises, as well as IoT. So let's have a look over the Maplytics growth over the years. So Maplytics has been there for more than a decade now. We started in 2011 as a store locator and we developed it more as our team researched about the customer requirements and of course the valuable feedback from our customers and partners contributed a lot. As we grew, we added proximity search, routing optimization, territory management, and many more features over the period. Let's move on to understand the importance of locational intelligence. According to the executives worldwide, the locational component in business performance has been playing a major role in many business sectors like finance, retail, logistics, real estate, and tourism. Further, its importance is going to increase even more into the coming few years. If we look at this report, it shows that sorry, that the locational intelligence is really important to businesses irrespective of their industry verticals, be it B2C or B2B industries like in healthcare, finance, technology, manufacturing, education, or be it any other industry, locational intelligence has been playing a major role in business performance. Moreover, in any businesses, the locational intelligence is being used by the people into various job functions. It's not just limited to the C-level corporate leaders of the company, but also the people into R&D, operations, marketing and sales, and many other job functions. And they are utilizing the location information into their day-to-day work. Let's have a look over this chart. It shows that the various use cases that are requiring the locational intelligence. Use cases like data visualization, logistics, fleet routing, tracking, and many others are of great importance in various organizations. And Maplytics is one such solution that will help you to fulfill these use cases. Before we start with a quick overview of the features to be covered today, let's see few of the examples of the impact of Maplytics into business. With Maplytics in use, the organizations are able to reduce mileage costs by 10 to 30%, and we all know how valuable it is to save fuel. Moreover, the scheduling field trips that used to be a tedious process with Maplytics, people are now able to save 1 to 2 hours daily, and that amounts to about $800 of money each month. Moreover, while managers used to spend 4 to 5 hours on managing territories, Maplytics has reduced it to just a few hours now, along with a better visual administrations as well as alignment of the territories. So basically, while you are planning the routines and processes, Maplytics helps you to make the most out of it. Let's have a look over the features that I'll be covering for today. So I'll be starting with our revamped mobile UI, which is the latest addition into our last release, that is the January 2023. So we have revamped the mobile UI that will enhance the user experience as well as make it easier for the users to use Maplytics. Next, we'll be seeing the comparison of the actual and proposed routes. So basically, while if you have any team going out on the field, so you can use this feature to see the differences between the actual and proposed route, which means that the assigned route and the actual route that's heading to the field. After that, we'll be seeing the option of multiple data source plotting. So earlier we had this limitation of having only 3 data sources to be plotted on the map. Now we have removed that limitation. So now you will be able to plot multiple data sources, that is multiple entities all together on the same map. Next, we'll be going through the S3 support. So if you are using the S3 account to see the ArcGIS files, so you can configure the S3 account with Maplytics now, and you'll be able to see all of your ArcGIS files on the map within Maplytics. So the second last feature that I have listed for today is the auto scheduling. So auto scheduling is an automated version of route optimization, which helps you to consider various preferences as per the sales rep or field rep team, as well as it will give you multi-route, multi-day, and multi-team schedules for the respective teams, the service team or let's say the sales team that you are working for. So you can create the optimized schedules for multiple people all together automatically. Lastly, we'll be going through the territory management. So territory management will help you to create multiple territories automatically based on the count of clients that you have into a certain area, as well as you will be able to align your territories as per your requirement. So let's start with the live demonstration of the features. So I'll start with the first feature that the first thing that I have scheduled that I have listed for today, which is the mobile UI. So let me share my screen. So I hope everyone is able to see my screen. So I am into the mobile UI, the dynamic CRM, and here to use Maplytics into the CRM app, you just have to go to any of the entities over here. So here I'm choosing, let's say, accounts, and here you'll be able to see the map buttons over here. So you can click on new more, and here you'll be able to see the two map buttons, the detail map and the heat map. So I'll go for the detail map over here, and we have revamped this detail map UI into the mobile. So we have kept the features almost the same so that all of our users, even the existing users, do not find it too difficult to adjust with it. So you'll be able to, in fact, enhance your user experience with this mobile UI. Okay, so here you can see this is the detailed map that I have opened, and now you can see the two buttons at the bottom. So here you can go for the search option, and this opens up the plot records card. So you can see the UI is similar, so you will be finding it easier to adapt to it. So here let's start with the search criteria that we have added. The first search criteria is the by location. So by location means it will simply plot the data based on the addresses it has within the records. So here you can see this is the part where you select the entities. So I'll go for the data source option, and here you will be finding all of the entities that you have within the CRM. Even if you have any custom entities, you will be able to add those custom entities into this list. So let's go for accounts as an example. And here you can see this is the option of views. So you'll be getting all of the views that you have within your CRM. So you'll be getting the personal views, the system views, and the dashboards, the system views and the dashboards, and the further the marketing list. Okay, so let's go for one of the personal views that I have created, and I'll click on go. So this was by location option, simply plotting the data based on the addresses it has within the records. Right, so you can see the records have plotted on the map. Now, to see the data of the respective records, you can simply click once on the respective push pins to open the hover details of that record. So you can just tap once on all of these records to see the hover data. If you want to open the tooltip card, you simply double tap on any record so as to open this tooltip card at the bottom of the page. Right, so you can see this tooltip card, and as you know that this hover data and the tooltip card data is configurable at the backend. Into the settings, you can choose to add some more details on this hover or this tooltip card. Now here you can also see some more actions are there to perform on the respective records. If you want, you can also perform these tooltip card actions at the bottom as well, like creating a phone call, or let's say you want to create an appointment for this particular record, or let's say simply open the record. So you can perform these tooltip card actions from the tooltip card. Now here, if you want to go back to the map again, you just tap anywhere outside the tooltip card on the map, and this tooltip card will get closed. Right, so again, if I double tap, the tooltip card will get opened. If I just tap outside on the map, so the tooltip card will get closed. Now let's go ahead with adding some more features over here. So the next option here is to add some category. So let's say I'll go for industry. So here you can see I've selected industry, and this will basically provide you all of the fields that are within the selected entity. Okay, so here I've chosen industry. Let's click on go. So this will plot all of these records into different kinds of push pins and the colors and shapes of the push pin. So here you can see the data has plotted. Now you can see at the left hand side, you can see two buttons over here. So let's say I'll go for the first button, which is the layer menu. So layer menu basically allows you to see all of the layers of data that you have plotted on the map. So if you have plotted multiple layers of data, so you'll be able to see those data. You can also choose this toggle button to show and hide the data that you have plotted. Again, I can also click outside to just close this particular card. Now you can also see the second the button over here. I can click on this, and this is the category card. Now you can see I just selected just clicked over here, and I dragged this particular card. So this card is draggable. If you have more data into the card, you can just drag it up and down to see all of these data. So you can see able to see the map as well as the card simultaneously to understand which push pin represents which particular data over here. Right, so you can also deselect some of the categories if you want right from the card. And again, you can click outside to just close this category card. Now we also have at the right hand side these three buttons. The first option is map mode. If you want to change the map mode to aerial, you'll be able to do so. If you want to go for the my location, if you want to fetch your current GPS location of the device, so you can just click on this particular button and it will fetch your current GPS location of the device. Now the third, sorry, I'll just open it. So the third button at the right hand side is the refresh map button. If you are plotting something and you want to plot something new, you can just tap over here on the third button and it will just refresh the map button over here. Now let's move on to some more features over here. The next search criteria is the by region option. Okay, so here the by region option basically allows you to plot any type of region that you want, the city, state, county, country, anything that you want. So let's say I'll go for postal code, and here I'll just type some of the postal codes that I want to plot over here. So you can put comma separated postal codes like this, and I'll choose some records over here and I'll click on go. So this will plot the respective records that belong to the postal codes that I have just entered. Let me choose another view over here. So here you can see the respective regions have been plotted, and the respective records that belong to these regions have also been plotted. So this was by region option, and similarly we also have this by template option. So by template option basically allows you to plot any particular template directly on the map. So if you want to search something very frequently, you will be able to plot the same directly on the map just by selecting the template. So this saves your time if you want to plot something again and again on the detail map. So this was the by template option. Now let's move on to some routing. So here let me plot some data. So here I'll just choose some data over here. So you can create the routes right from the map as well. So here I have plotted some records over here, and here I can just right click over here and you can see save settings. This is also a very useful option given into the contextual menu itself. Here you will be able to save the settings for the logged in user right from here. Let's say I'll choose map zoom level like this. So you can do that. Okay, so now moving ahead for the routing, I can just right click means long press on any record that will open the contextual menu. So I can long press on any record and I'll be able to add that record to the route like this. Okay, now here you can see I have added only one waypoint, but two more waypoint have appeared, this A and B. So why? Because these 2 points locations are the default origin locations into the settings. Okay. So basically every Maplytics users have this ability to have the freedom to select their own default origin and destinations. So here that's the same thing gets fetched from their configuration detail record to this routing map while you are trying to create a route for yourself. Okay, now moving ahead, similarly you can add some more records to the routes. Now if I go to the direction card, let me just reconnect. So now if you go to the direction card over here, you can see this is the direction card and all of the records that you have just added has been added as waypoints over here. Now you can go for the options and you can see all of these options into here. So you can choose whether you want to optimize the direction, the route based on shortest distance or shortest time, if you want to avoid toll roads, avoid highways, or if you want to see the traffic on the map. All of these options are available. So if you click on it will give you the optimized route based on the selection of the records that you just did. So this is the route that I have just got, and now you will be able to save this route. So you can see this is the card over here. Let me just tap it again. So here you can see the direction card. Okay, so here you can see the save button. So you can save this route into the CRM. So you'll be able to give it a name, select the date over here when you are going to follow this route on the field, and further you can select the user. So you will be able to select your yourself, or you will be able to select your subordinate or the colleague as well. So you will be able to save this route on the into the CRM. So here, let me go back to the map, and now I can search for the along the route data. So while your salespeople are out on the field, one of the very important situations that they face is that some situations that they didn't plan for. The ad hoc situations, like whenever they have some spare time for, let's say, some reason, like any meeting got finished earlier, any any uh, any services got finished earlier, any client has declined the meeting. In those cases they have some spare time. Okay, so in that case they need to know if there are any existing additional clients that are on their way. So here, if I go for the direction card and into the route options, you can see this option, which is the along the route. So I can click on this, and this will give me the default option distance from the settings. So you can change this default distance as well. Now, if I click on go, this will filter all of these records based on the distance, zero point 0.5 miles of distance from the route. So this was the along the route feature. You can see all of the records have disappeared. Only those records which are very near to the route has appeared over here, which means that this basically will allow the sales rep or the service rep to see all of the clients that are within the vicinity around their location, which also follow along the route, right? So they will be able to see these details of the record. They can just check the tooltip card if they have details on the tooltip card, and they can also use this option to call the particular person right from the mobile over here. And once they, let's say their client has told them that they are available for a meeting, they will be able to add an extra record to the route. So this is how they will be able to make changes to the route if they want to add any extra record to the route. Now, while they have made some changes, they can update the changes to the respective route. So they can just click on open saved route. They can see all of these routes that have been created into the CRM, and they can simply click on update. This will update the route automatically once you click on that. So all of the data will be updated into the route, which means that their reporting managers will always be able to see the most recent route, most latest route that was used by the respective sales rep or the field rep. So this was the routing optimization. Now let's say they were not able to see many results using this along the route feature. They want to see some more results. Let's say the count of results into the along the route feature is lesser. What they can do is that they can use another feature, which is the proximity search. So here they can just right click anywhere, and they will be able to use this location as set as current location. So you can see the green push pin has appeared over here. Otherwise, they can also use this button to set their current GPS location as the current location into this map. Since I'm in India, I'm not using that option. However, this option will be giving the most relevant results because this will be stretching the current GPS location of the device. Okay, now moving ahead, you can see I have selected the current location over here, and now you will be able to enter the radii over here. So here you can put the radii like this. Now here at a max you can put 3 radii and decimals up to 2 places as well. So now I have put 3 radii and I'll click on go. So this will allow you to search for the radius based on the radii that I have entered. So you can see three proximity circles have been plotted on the map. Now, first of all, just by looking at it, you are able to understand which clients are near or far from your current location. Other than that, if you hover on any push pin, you can further see the respective details on the respective the hover as well. So here you can see, if I hover on or I click on the push pins, basically if I single click or I double click on the push pins, you can see the data on the hover or the tooltip card, which is this line of sight distance. So line of sight distance is the straight line distance from the current location to each of the push pins. So this will help you to understand which client is near or far in terms of straight line. However, if you want to travel to any particular push pin, in that case, the straight line won't be the practical distance, right? Which is why we have given this option of show travel distance. So I have selected this, I have clicked on go, and this will allow me to see the two distances on the respective map. So here you will be able to see the two distances, which is the shortest travel distance or the line of sight distance. Both of the distances will be available over here. So based on the two distances, you will be able to see, understand which client is near or far in terms of traveling to this particular push pins. So here you will be able to, this is now calculating the shortest travel distance to each of the push pins, which is why it is taking a bit of time. Let's just give it a few more seconds. So basically this can be, this Maplytics into mobile can be used by the field service people or the sales people as well. So you will be having to download this dynamic CRM app for phones, dynamic CRM app for the sales app, or the dynamic CRM field service app in order to just use the credentials, and you'll be able to log into your CRM just like I did, and you'll be able to use Maplytics just like I'm showing you over here. Let me just open the map again. So this is taking usually, this does not take that much of time usually. It must be my net connection. Let me just try it again. So I've opened the detail map. Let me quickly plot some records. Okay, I'll just put the radii as well. I'll put two radii only, and I'll click on go. So here, yeah, okay, so here you can see the proximity has been plotted, and now let me choose, I'll just remove one more radii just to make it quicker. And here I have selected show travel distance, so this will calculate the shortest travel distance as well as the line of sight distance for all of the records that are within the vicinity around the current location. So this will plot both of the distances, which will give you an idea about which push pin is near or far from the current location. Okay, this is taking more than usual, so I'll just skip that. Oh, okay, okay, it has plotted now. So you can see, now you can see if I hover as in single click on any push pin or I double click on any push pin, you can see both of the distances have been shown over here, right? So basically you will be able to understand which push pin is near or far in terms of traveling to those push pins as well. So once you have got the details of the respective clients that are nearby using this proximity search, you will be able to see all of these records. You'll be able to see the details of the records, as well as you can decide on which particular client do you want to go and meet, and you will be able to right click on the respective record to add this record as an additional meeting into the respective route. So this was the proximity search. Now here you will be able to see all of these data over here, and you can further choose to go for POI. So here let me reconnect this. So here, okay, so here The POI location, as you must be familiar of this basically allows you to see the geotag Bing map locations that are available on the field. So here I have selected a location to be the POI location, and now you can just click on these icons that are available into the POI location card, and this will allow you to see the geotag Bing map locations that are available within the vicinity. Right. So this POI locations comes very handy while you are out on the field. You, let's say, any salesperson or a field rep, let's say they want to grab some lunch, or let's say they want to fill the fuel into their vehicles. So they can use this POI feature for that. So you can see all of these icons over here. So you can see the restaurants, the cafe, gas stations. Moreover, you can also click on other button, and this will give you a whole list of locations over here. Right, so you can also, if in case you're not able to see any particular location, so you can just type in any keyword over here, and you'll be able to, let's say, just search for all of the I'm sorry. So you can basically enter a keyword over here, and you will be able to search for the respective locations within this particular area as well. So this will allow you to get the details of the respective Bing map locations over here, as well as you'll be able to see the respective details of the PY locations on the map, and you'll be able to add those locations as the record into the CRM as well. So this was all of this mobile UI, and this was the first thing we have listed for today. Let's move on to the next thing we have listed, which is the the comparison of the routes that was assigned to a rep as compared to the route that was actually traveled by the rep. So here I have gone to the activity entity. So let's understand how the person will be able to see the respective. Uh, just a second. I'll just choose to switch the view. So let's understand the perspective of the salesperson, how the person will be using this feature. So basically, first of all, the person has to allow to search to have the tracking enabled. So I have selected this route, and I have opened this route record over here. And here you can just click on more to plot this route on the map. So I have simply plotted the route on the map. Let's say I'm a salesperson who is going to follow this route on the map. So here, while I'm plotting this route, I can go to the direction cards, and I can go for this. I can scroll down, and you can see this is the navigation button. So I can click on this. Now you can see the card looks a bit different. This is because we have added this additional button over here, which is the start trip over here. So what happens while the salesperson is out on the field and they have started going and following this route, they can simply click on this start trip. This will allow them to see the turn by turn directions on the map, and you can further, while you have completed the meeting, you can go back to the card, and you can stop the trip over here. So this is how you can do the same for all of the meetings that you are going to handle. And once you have completed the meeting, come back and end the trip over here. So what happens into the backend with the use of feature real-time tracking within Maplytics, Maplytics will be tracking your salesperson out on the field while they have started and ended the trip. So this basically track how much time and how much distance have they traveled on the field. So this is how you can similarly do the same for the respective all of the meetings that you are going to have into the field. Okay, now let's move on to the desktop version. So here you can see once the salesperson has started and ended the trip for all of the meetings that the person was going to handle, you will be able to see the respective details into the route record. So you can see I have opened one of the route record over here, and you will be able to see these details, the estimated travel distance and estimated travel time over here. Estimated means this is the distance and time that was supposed to be traveled by the salesperson out on the field based on the route that was assigned to them. Okay, now we also have this information about the actual travel distance and actual travel time. This gives the details on the actual route that was traveled into the real time by the respective sales rep on the field, which means that there might be situations where your sales rep has been traveling more than what was assigned to the person because of some reason. So while you have a whole team out there and you want to compensate, let's say if you want to compensate the money, the time they have spent on the field in terms of the monetary benefit, so you will be able to use this information to calculate how much compensation do you have to give to your field rep or the service rep based on the actual distance and actual travel time that was spent on the field by the sales rep. So this was the feature of the actual versus proposed route into the Maplytics. Now let's move on to the next feature we have on the list, which is the multiple data source support. So I'll just go for the detailed map over here. So earlier we had this limitation of being able to plot only 3 data sources over here, but now we have removed this limit and now you will be able to plot multiple data sources all together on the same map. Okay, so here, let's say I'll go for accounts. So we are going to select multiple data sources over here. So let's say I'll go for accounts and leads. And I'll select these views that I have created and let's say contact. Okay, and I'll choose cases and let's say opportunity as well. So here I have now selected 5 different entities and I have clicked on search. So you will be able to plot multiple entities all together on the map and on the same map based on this particular option ability that we have added into the latest release. So here you can see the multiple data has been plotted and you can see, let me just change the color over here so it will be more easier to understand. Okay, so here, like you saw, you can change the color right from the map as well, the card. Now here, if you go to the layer menu, you will be able to see the respective data that has been plotted on the map, right? So this way you will be able to interact with more data on the same map without having any limitations on the number of entities that you want to plot on the map. So now you can use this data to analyze your the performance into the respective regions. You can plot the proximity, you can create the route, and you can take mass actions as well. So this will allow you to interact with multiple data all together into the same map using this ability to plot multiple data at once without having any limitations. So this was the option of multiple data support. Now let's move on to the S3 support. So all those people who are using this S3 account to access the ArcGIS files, so those users can now configure the S3 account within Maplytics itself. So here I have gone to the Maplytics app and then settings and the Maplytics configuration detail record. So here you can see the detail record over here. There is one record that does not have its own user. So this is the default configuration detail record. So here I'll go for this and now you can see a tab over here especially for ArcGIS. So here you can see these credentials. So this you can just take the help file that I have written where I have explained each of the step-by-step instructions how to configure this S3 in this particular settings over here. Once you have configured the S3 account over here, you will be able to plot these ArcGIS files using the feature of overlay into Maplytics. So you might be familiar with the feature already. Overlay is a feature that will help you to plot multiple layers of data on the map. So earlier we had only two options, the territory and the file. So here you will be able to see the third option, which is the ArcGIS. So I've selected this third option, and now you can see all of the files that were available into your S3 account. So here, let's say I'll go for this particular file, and you can further use any attribute to be the category attribute for this particular file as well. So here, let it up. So here you can see the category attribute. So I have selected some attribute. You can select the summary attribute as well, and I have clicked on search. So this way you can plot the files that you have within your S3 account using this particular option of integrating your S3 account. So this was one of the files that I had. Apart from this, you also can plot the polypoint files as well as the polylayer file, polyline files as well. So here I have this pushpin file. So here you can see, if I plot this pushpin file, this will see, you can see these pushpins. This is the pushpin type of file that you can plot on the map. And apart from this, I also have an example of polyline layer. So I have selected that, and let's plot this on the map. So you can see this is the line that you see. This is the polyline layer that is available into this particular file that I have selected. So this is how you can use this S3 account configuration within Maplytics to see the files, all of the files that you have within the S3 account on the Maplytics maps. Now let's move on to the second last feature, which is the auto scheduling. So here, let me just refresh this map. So auto scheduling is an automated feature that will allow you to create the schedules for the respective team, the sales team or the field service team, in order to get the automated schedule created based on the availability of the team as well. So let's just filter out some of the records from here. Okay, now I'll just click on search. So here, let's see the count. Okay, so these are 22 records. Now let's move on to the auto scheduling section. So here into the mass actions, I have clicked on auto scheduling. Now here you can see the auto scheduling card opened up. So auto scheduling card will help you to select the preferences that you want to consider within the respective schedule. So here you can select when to start the schedule. Okay, further you can select the sales rep or the field service rep, the basically the resources within the field service. So here, let's say I'll go for the two sales people over here like this. So you can select multiple salesperson or multiple resources. So here you can select the duration, the week, sorry, period of the schedule, which means that if you have multiple records for which you are auto scheduling, so you can have those multiple records covered over a span of days as well. So you can select how many days the schedule should be for, and how many minutes of a particular meeting should be, and further you can start the start time, end time, break time within the day, the break duration within the day, as well as buffer time that will allow you to add this buffer time to each of the schedules, and it will basically help the salesperson or the fields rep person to meet the respective client on time for the meeting. Okay, now here I have selected all of these preferences. Further, it will also allow you to select the working days for those particular selected field rep. Now here you can have this very important option enabled, which is the consider existing meeting. So consider existing meeting basically allows you to consider if there are any existing appointments already created into the CRM. Okay, so which means that auto scheduling will be understanding if any particular salesperson is busy or free at a particular point of time. Now I'm into the advanced preferences. This will show me some more details about the users and the respective clients on which I am running this auto scheduling. So this is the user detail, and you can see both of the sales reps have been listed over here, and you can see the details of the respective default origin and destination. Okay, sorry. These details come from the configuration detail record itself of the respective users, which means that every user has the ability to select their default origin and destination locations. You can surely use this edit button to change this. Now you have this option of how many meetings per day should be scheduled for the sales rep or the field rep. Let's say I'll go for 4. Now I'll explain this in a while. Now here you will be getting all of the list of the records on which you are running this schedule auto scheduling. So here you can just put in a name over here, just put a value over here, and you will be able to filter your data as well. Or else if you want to just deselect, if you do not want to consider any meetings, so you can just deselect them. Let's say you want to change the meeting duration or the service duration for any particular client, so you can change the individual duration for the meeting or the bookable resource booking. So here further we have this existing meeting. So like I said earlier, there's a very important feature enabled into auto scheduling which allows you to consider the existing meetings. So into the sales you'll be getting all of the appointments that have been created for the respective selected salesperson. For field service CRM, you will be getting all of the bookable resource bookings that have been already created on the name of the selected users. Right now you can just choose any particular, you can just type in something over here, you will be able to filter your data. You can also deselect if you do not want to consider any. Okay, now the two options that I left earlier, scheduling existing meetings, it means that if it's okay to make any changes to the existing appointments, let's say it's okay to make the changes to the due date or the owner of the respective appointment, so you can just keep it as yes. If not, you can just keep it as no. Now what is continuous schedule? So continuous schedule is basically used whenever you are creating the route for more than a day. Let's say your field rep, the service rep or the sales rep is supposed to go back to the origin, let's say office every day, which means that let's say they will have to report their activities within the day to the office every day. So in that case you just keep it as no, which means that they have to go back to the origin every single day. If they are not supposed to go back to the origin and they can start their second day from the destination of the first day, then you can choose it to be the continuous option. So here you can choose these options, and further I'll just remove this option just to make it quicker, and now I'll click on proceed. So this will allow you to create an optimized route, optimized schedule for both of the sales persons that you have selected, and it will consider all of the preferences and it will consider the proximity of the records with each of the sales rep that you have selected, and it will make sure to give an optimized schedule to make sure that the sales rep are traveling the least amount of time on the map. So within the field service you will be able to create the optimized schedule for the resources, as well as it will also help you to create the bookable resource bookings within the CRM as well. So in field service, you can also plot the work orders and you will be able to run auto scheduling on those work orders to get them scheduled for your resources there into the CRM. So here you can see the route has been given, and this is the options to see the respective user. So you can see Joe Smith has been selected by default, so the respective meetings for Joe Smith within the day has been listed over here, and the respective details is available within this trip summary card as well. You can just click on down arrow and you'll be able to see all of the list of the turn by turn directions for that particular meeting over here. Now similarly you can just go for next option, basically next day over here, and you'll be able to see the route for the next day. If you want to switch for the respective user, you can switch to another user and you'll be able to see how does the day look like for Sam over here. And here you also can switch to the week based calendar as well. So here you can see how does the week look like for Sam, and you can see the legend card over here that allows you to understand which color represents which color, which week into the calendar. So this is how you can go for another week as well, and you'll be able to get the respective routes for the next week. Now these are the routes and these are the appointments that have been scheduled, but these have not been saved yet into the CRM. So to save it, you can create the appointments, service activities, or the bookable resource bookings within the CRM. So here you can just use these options, give the subject, start date, end date, and priority over here, and further click on create route. So what this will have do is that this will create these particular routes and the activities within the activity entity. So once your team, the manager has created a schedule for the rep team, the rep, the sales rep or the field service rep, they will be able to go to the activity entity and they can just see all of the appointments and the routes that have been assigned to them within the activity entity. And like you saw earlier, you can just use this, you can just open the route record and you will be able to plot those routes on the map directly whenever you want. So you will be, your sales rep or the field service rep team will be able to come to this activity entity, see the routes that have been assigned to them, and simply plot those routes and go ahead and follow the route on the map. So this was auto scheduling that will help you to create multi-day, multi-user schedules based on the preferences that you have selected for your respective sales rep or the field service rep. And into the field service CRM, you will also be able to see the bookable resource bookings into the schedule board as well. Now let's move on to the last feature of this webinar, which is the territory management. So let me just go to the detailed map. So as you know, the territory management is an application within Maplytics that will allow you to see the to create the territories as well as align those territories on the map. So here I can just go for the territory management app and we have several options over here. So let's go for the by file option, and here let me plot the file over here. So these the shape files or the Excel files are the, let me just switch to another file. So these shape files or the Excel files are the files that contain the boundary, the region informations into the files. So you will be able to plot these files on the map to get the region boundaries plotted on the map. So I have selected one of the files that I have for UK. So this will plot all of the regions into UK, and now you will be able to select those regions in order to create them as a territory into the CRM. So let me just try again once again. Now this is how you can create the territories. Moreover, we have a very special feature within the territory management, which is creating those territories, multiple territories, automatically based on the records that you have. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll just plot some records over here. And now let's say I have 3 salespeople, or let's say 3 field service rep, for which I want to create the territories. Okay, so here I have plotted some records over here. Oh, sorry. So I have plotted some records over here. What I'll do is that I'll just select these regions out of which I want to create multiple territories. So I've selected these regions, and now I'll just right click on the selected regions in order to create the territories. So we have another option over here, create multiple territories. So I have put 3 over here because I have to create 3 territories for 3 of my sales people, and I'll be giving these territories as a responsibility to the respective sales reps. So now what it is doing is that it is calculating the count of records over here, and it will give you the 3 territories created based on the records that you have selected over here. So based on that, you can also change the name of the territories as well as select the manager for the territories right from the map. So let it just give it a few seconds. So I can just try it another window as well. So let me just try it over here. Okay, so here you can see 3 territories have been plotted based on the distribution of the records that you have done. So here you can just change the name over here like this. You can also select the respective managers right from here. Moreover, you can also change the color of the territories right from the map as well. Right. So this is how you can create automatic territories. And let's say you want, and you will be able to start your work right from you left earlier. So I'll just try it. The realignment with smaller data over here because my net is not good today. I'll just switch to another map. So here, let me just choose some records over here. So I'll just change the view over here. Okay, so here let me just select these. And I'll just right click and create territories. So if I just put 4 territories, so here this will recalculate the count of users over here, and now it will plot 4 territories based on the distribution of the records that you have plotted on the respective regions. So this was the feature of automatic territory creation that will allow you to create the territories based on the automatic distribution of the records that fall into the respective territories. And likewise, you also have this option of by region and by drawing. So you can see it has given you the respective 4 territories for the regions that you have selected over here. Right. So you can change the color over here. You can further create the use the users to be the territory managers right from you from the respective card itself. So this was the automatic territory creation, and let's move ahead to the other options that we have within this territory management, which is the by region as well. So I'll go for by region, and here you can see the respective types of regions that you want to plot on the map. So here you can just select the, let's say I'll go for the postal codes. So you can select the postal code, city, state, country, county, whatever you want. And here you can just put some values of the postal codes or the city state. Now you will be able to plot the respective regions on the map. Okay, so I've selected these options and I'll click on plot. So you can see the respective regions have been plotted on the map like this. I can right click on it and create territory. Similarly, you can also go for by drawing, where you can just draw a shape on the map and you will be able to right click and create a territory. So these territories could be a combination of by region, by drawing as well as the by file option. So once you have created these territories, you will be able to align these territories as well. So here, let me plot some territories that are already existing into my CRM. So here, let me go for by territory option, and here I'll just plot some territories over here. So here some I've already created into the CRM. So I'm just selecting those and I'll click on plot. So here realignment means you'll be able to adjust the regions within the territory. So you have these two options, which is move to and copy to. So I can select one territory, I can move to another territory. So I can select another territory and click on proceed. What will happen is that this region will be removed from the current territory and it will be moved to another territory because it was a move to. Similarly, I can also choose to copy to another territory. So I can select another territory and I'll be able to copy this region to another territory, and it will also remain into the current territory because it was a copy to option. Okay, so these were the options using which you will be able to align these territories. Moreover, the last option that we have within the territory management is by overlay. So overlay, as the name suggests, it will help you to plot some more data on the map. So this will give you very important information if you have the census overlay file with you. So you can target the audience that you want for your business, and you will be able to expand your territories into those regions. So I have an example of New York shapefile that contains the population data. So I've selected population to be the category. So you can see the category card that will help you to color code these regions based on the population. Now you can simply select these regions and create them as the territories, which means that you can have your own file, like to target the audience like based on the age group, the population, or the gender, or the income. So based on that, you will be able to search your own file on the map using overlay, and you will be able to see where your target audience are more, and then you can drill down into those particular regions, and you can just create the territories based on those regions coming from the file. So this was the territory management using which you will be able to create those territories. Once you have created the territories, you will be able to plot those territories right into the map. So here, once you have created the territories, your sales rep or the field service rep will be able to plot those territories on the map to see all of the clients they are handling, and further go ahead and search these clients and go ahead with the creation of routing and meet all of these people. So these were all of the features that we have listed for today. Now I'll be starting a quick poll where you can just type in, just vote in for the features that you found the most useful. So I have launched the poll. Please vote for the features that you think will be the most useful. So I'll be waiting for a few more seconds. You can just vote for the features. So if you're already using Maplytics, you can just choose the feature that you use the most. If you're new to Maplytics, you can just choose the feature that you found the most useful. So everybody has voted. Let me just close this poll. Okay, and let's move on to the Q&A session. Please type in if you have any questions so that I can answer those questions for you. Okay, Richard has asked how many data sources can we plot. So here, you can, we have removed the limit, so you can plot multiple data sources that you want into the same map over here. Robert has asked, can I create using S3 layer? So yeah, you can create the S3 layers within the S3 account. You can also configure the GIS layers as per your requirement. If you have filtered in or color coded any regions into the S3 account, you will be able to access those ArcGIS files within the overlay feature as well. Andrew has asked, can we do auto scheduling for work orders and create bookable resource bookings? So yes, you can use auto scheduling. Whole Maplytics is basically for the field service as well, and you will be able to use auto scheduling to to schedule the work orders. Moreover, it will help you to create the bookable resource bookings to show on the schedule board as well. Dave has asked, if can you assign the territories for the custom entity? So yeah, Maplytics works with the custom entities as well. If you have any custom entities, you can just create those custom entities, create custom entity maps for those custom entity, and you will be able to have those listed into the Maplytics as well. Keith has asked, how can I get the actual route? Just a second. So Keith has asked, how can we go for the actual route? So using the feature of actual versus proposed route, you will be able to get a small arrow button there. You can click on those arrow button in order to go for the visualization of both the actual versus proposed route. So you'll be able to understand if there are any deviations, and you'll be getting more information about the respective time and distance that have been taken by the respective field rep. So please type in if you have any questions here so that I can answer it for you. So I guess I have answered all of the questions. Let me know if you have any more questions. Okay, Connor has asked, can you show the listed route view on mobile to select and run route for directions for the day? Yeah, if you have saved any route, or let's say you are creating any route, you will be able to plot that route on the mobile, and you can just use the little redirection button, the arrow button, that will help you to get the turn by turn directions on the map. Okay, let me just show the route selection. One second. So Connor has asked if I can show the route selection on the map. Let me just share my screen again. So I hope you're able to see the screen. One second. Okay, so here, if I go here, so I am into the CRM now. I hope you're able to see the screen. So here you just have to go to the activity. So here, if I just go for the index, you have this activity option, right? You can just go for the activity entity, and here you will be getting all of the routes that have been saved using Maplytics. Okay, so here you can just type in the word, or you can just go through the list over here. I'm just typing the word that I have created already. So I have created one route already. So all of the list of the routes that are created using Maplytics will be saved under the activity entity. Once you have opened the route, you can see all of these details of the route, who has been assigned with the route, and which all clients do the person has to go and meet on the field, the route details, how much distance and travel time that he has to go and travel on the field. All of these details will be there. Here you have to just click on this button, this more button, to go for plot route option. You can see this button, so you can just plot route on the map, and you will be able to plot the route on the map directly. So I hope I was able to answer your question. Let me know if you have any more questions. So I'll be waiting for a few more minutes. You can just type in if you have any questions. So you can type in if you have any questions. So you can always go to the website maplytics.com, where you will be getting the case studies and testimonials that we have uh, received from our valuable customers and the partners. And okay, one second. So you can see the route has been plotted. If I go for this direction button, I can go for the direction button, and here you see this navigation option. This is the arrow button I was talking about. Over here, once I've completed A to B, I can go for the B to C over here, and you will be getting the respective route for the turn by turn directions for the B to C and C2D likewise. I hope I was able to answer your question. Let me know if you have any more questions so that I can answer it for you. Yeah, so the directions will be shown right here. If you see, these are the directions. If I just go for preview, you can see I can see these directions over here, and I'll be able to go for the respective directions as well. So all of these turn by turn directions will be shown over here, and this will allow you to see the navigations into the respective applications, that is Waze app and the Google Maps, Waze app, as well as the Apple Maps as well. So you can just test it out at your end if you're facing any issues. Yeah, so even if you're driving, you'll be able to get the turn by turn directions as you have to go. So right now, if you are traveling over there, you will be able to go for the turn by turn directions as you are driving, or if you are driving a vehicle, then also you will be getting the turn by turn directions. You can just test it out while driving as well. You'll be able to see the turn by turn directions. So let me know if you have any more queries. I'll wait for another minute. Okay, so I guess I have answered all of the queries. And if you are new to Maplytics, you can just go ahead to the Maplytics website where you will be getting the latest solution, or the Maplytics Microsoft AppSource, where you will be getting the upgraded latest solution to download and install within your CRM, and you will be able to use the latest features that we have added to our last release, along with the mobile UI. And I'll be looking forward to your valuable feedback on the mobile UI especially. Let me know if you have any more queries or any more features that you would like to add into Maplytics. So we'll be glad to add them into the Maplytics as well. And okay, so Connor has asked another question. If the turn-by-turn directions will be into the Google Maps. So see, all of the data that is plotted into Maplytics comes from Bing Maps. However, the turn-by-turn directions will be given into the Google Maps, Waze app, or the Apple Map only. It will not give you the Bing over here. So into that, you can, yeah, by default, if you have nothing selected into the configuration detail record, Google Maps will be used by default to give you the turn by turn directions over there. Otherwise, every Maplytics user can have the freedom to select their own preferred app, which is the Google Maps, Apple Map, or the Waze app, WAZE.